Voices around the table understand and reflect the community it serves. You'll need leadership experience and be keen to play an active part in helping to support society's strategic priorities. The Society is encouraging candidates from a diverse range of backgrounds to stand for election. Go to www.rsgb.org/elections to find out more. The closing date is the 31st of January, so act now. The RSGB Contest Club is excited to report that the third Worldwide Award event will be taking place in January. Award hunters can engage in the very enjoyable competition across all HF bands and modes, with many special international calls to work. The RSGB will be activating 7 call signs, all with the suffix WWA. RSGB members who hold a full license may activate the call sign for their country. To find out more, go to www.rsgb.org/contest-club. Yota Month continues over this weekend and into next week with a special call sign GB25 Yota. Listen out for operators from the RSGB National Radio Centre and the 2nd Marlborough Scouts. During the week, students from Bucky High School, Wick High School and Simon Langton Boys School Radio Club will be active, as well as the University of Sheffield Amateur Radio Club. Next weekend, Cambridge University Wireless Society, along with some young visitors, will be active. Listen out and encourage these young operators. View the operating times, bands and mode for each group at www.rsgb.org/Yota-month. RSGB headquarters will close on Wednesday the 24th of December at 2 p.m. for the festive break, and it will reopen again at 8:30 a.m. on Monday the 5th of January. If you need information about amateur radio examinations or RADCOM while our headquarters are closed, it is available on the website at www.rsgb.org. To join the RSGB, renew membership, or purchase a range of amateur radio books and other products, go to www.rsgbshop.org. Lastly, remember to send details of all your news and events to radcom@rsgb.org.uk. Please note that the deadline, especially for GB tour submissions, is 10 a.m. on the Thursday prior to an appropriate Sunday broadcast. And now details of rallies and events. The Sparkford Radio Rally is due to take place on Sunday the 28th of December at Davis Hall, Hull Hill, West Camel, near Yeovil. Postcode is EA227QX. The doors will be open from 9:30 a.m. at admission cost £2. Refreshments and free parking will be available on site. For more details, contact Luke on 07 870 168 197 or email luke@mymixradio.co.uk. Looking ahead to next year, on Sunday the 25th of January, the Lincoln Shortwave Club Winter Radio Rally will be held at the Festival Hall, Caister Road, Market Raisin, postcode LN83HT. This is an indoor event with ample free parking. The doors will open from 10 a.m. and admission is £3. Tables cost £10. To book tables or for more information, contact Steve M5ZZZ on 07 777 699 069 or email m5zzz@outlook.com. Now, the special event news. Special call sign 4T950 is activated to celebrate the 90th anniversary of the Parano Radio Club OA40 in Peru. Look for activity throughout December on the 40 to 10 meter bands using CW, FT8, FM, RTTY and SSB. Jose HB2AT is active as H82AT until the 31st of December to celebrate his 35th anniversary in amateur radio. Recently, the station has been spotted using FT8 on the HF band. All QSLs are uploaded to QRSA.com. Blog, EQSL and Logbook of the World. In celebration of the GB2RS News Service's 70th anniversary, Sean G7NJX will be active with the GB70RS call sign from tomorrow until next Sunday. Sean will be operational on the 80, 40 and 20 meter bands using CW, FT4, FT8, DSK31, RTTY and SSB. There's a scheduled bands, modes and operating times for the week listed on Sean's QRSA.com page. He will also do his best to spot his activity on the DX cluster. Now for DX news. Roland F8EN is active as TR8CR from Gabon in Central Africa until the end of December. He is operating using CW only. QSL via F6AJA. Now the contest news. The ARRL 10-meter contest is underway and will finish at 23:15 hours GMT tonight. Using CW and phone on the 10-meter band, they exchange the signal port and serial number. Please note that American and Canadian stations also send their state and province code. Tomorrow, the RSGB FT4 contest will run from 2000 to 2200 hours GMT. Using FT4 on the 80 to 10 meter contest band, the exchange is your report. On Tuesday, the RSGB 1.3 GHz UK activity contest run from 2000 to 2230 hours GMT. These are all modes on the 23 centimeter band. They change the signal port, serial number and locator. On Thursday, the RSGB 70 MHz UK activity contest run from 2000 to 2230 hours GMT. Using all modes on a 4 meter band, they exchange the signal port, serial number and locator. Now, the radio propagation report, compiled by G0KYA, G3YLA and G4BAO last Thursday, the 11th of December. We had a bit of everything last week, including increased KP indices, a high solar flux, an X-class solar flare and coronal mass ejections. The solar flux index hit a maximum of 220 on Thursday, the 4th of December. This brought good HF conditions until last Sunday. The index declined to 169 a week later, last Thursday, which was still more than enough to excite the ionosphere. We had an X-class solar flare at 0501 GMT last Monday. This originated from large active region 4298, which is now rotated out of view. We also had more than 10 M-class solar flares over the past week, showing that the prediction of disturbed conditions on the down part of the solar cycle still holds. The KP index hit 6.33 last Wednesday, which disrupted maximum usable frequencies, or MES. The net result that the Digison traces were missing at times, with the MEF over 3,000 kilometers being in single figures the following day. To cap it all, there is a very large Earth-facing coronal hole which could threaten HF propagation today. There has been DX around, but mostly on the lower bands. CDXC's Slack group reports that KP2B from St. Croix was watched on the 8-meter bands using FT8 last Thursday morning. T09W on St. Martin was launched on the 40 and 30-meter bands using CW last Tuesday. TT1GD in Chad also appeared on the 40-meter and 20-meter bands using CW last Monday. Next week, NOAA predicts that the solar index will be in the 130 to 140 range. Conditions might calm down during this coming week before the KP index reaches 5 sometime the following week. In summary, get your HF indexing in during next week before auroral conditions take their toll over the Christmas period. And now, the VHF and up propagation news from GTYLA and G4DAO. The present period of unsettled weather will remain the driving force for weather conditions for most of the country for the period up to Christmas. This will mean that there are likely to be some very windy spells with extensive rain and squally showers. It offers scope for rain scatter operators on the gigahertz band, but scarcely any hint of good tropical conditions. One item of interest is the meteor scatter prospects from the Geminis, which peak today. It is one of the busiest showers of the calendar with a peak hourly rate of 120, so it should provide plenty of opportunities and is still worth exploring during the week following today's peak. The solar conditions have again remained interesting enough, with a red alert last Wednesday evening. The KP index went to over 5 on Friday evening, accompanied by a visual aurora observed in Scotland. Finally, a reminder that this winter period, from mid-December to mid-January, can produce some surprisingly effective sporadic heat. It's possible easiest to see by checking the www.propquest.co.uk graphs to see if the FOE's trace is showing any sharp spikes. The 10 and 6 metre bands are probably the more likely bands to show signs of activity in these winter events, but it's certainly worth checking if the graphs are showing any promising signs. For EME operators, moon declination went negative last Friday, meaning shortening moon windows and decreasing peak elevation. We're past perigee for the month, so path losses are increasing. 140 Omega sky noise starts low, but increases the high next Friday when the sun and moon will be close in the sky. And that's all from Propagation Team this week. Next, this coming week's local news, compiled in our particular case from the extended Scottish news published on the RSGB's website. For your information, the RSGB publishes a detailed weekly list of all Scottish club activities and net schedules on the website at www.rsgb.org/GBTourist. However, in an ongoing battle to keep within our allocated time slot of 30 minutes, the specific transmission has been restricted to current use of physical Scottish Amateur Radio Club activities and events. Nevertheless, please note that an alternative source of more detailed information about Amateur Radio Club activities in Scotland can be located on the West for Scotland Amateur Radio Society's website at www.wosers.club/radio-net. Now the regular, but mainly routine and repetitive local news for Scotland. Today, the Stirling Amateur Radio Society should be open for projects and operating from 10 a.m. To find out more information, visit www.gm6nx.com. This afternoon, the Lowland Radio Club should be open for general activities and operating. For further details, contact Simon MM0XME by email to mm0xme@outlook.com. There are details of 2 meetings for Tuesday. Firstly, the Kilmarnock and Loudon Amateur Radio Club will be meeting at our clubhouse. For further details, email klrcinfo@gmail.com. And secondly, the Paisley Amateur Radio Club usually meets at 10:30 a.m. for coffee and a radio chat on Tuesday mornings. The venue is our club premises at the Ferguson Sports Centre in Paisley. Contact the Secretary Graham via gm0pym@gmail.com or visit www.parc.radio to ascertain where actually be a meeting taking place this coming Tuesday. Here are details of 2 meetings for Wednesday. Firstly, the Livingston District Amateur Radio Society will be holding a weekly meeting between 7 and 9 p.m. at our clubhouse on Station Road, Roxburgh. For further information, please contact Phil, GM3ZZA, by email to secretary@ladars.org.uk. And secondly, the Galashiels District Amateur Society will be meeting in the Focus Centre, Livingstone Place, Galashiels at 8 p.m. To find out more information, contact Jim Kelly by email to mail@jim7lun.co.uk. We have details of 3 meetings for Thursday. Firstly, the Paisley Amateur Radio Club will be meeting from 7:30 p.m. at the Ferguson Sports Centre, 106 Blackstone Road, Paisley. To find out more details, visit www.earc.radio or contact the Secretary, Graham, by email to gm0paym@gmail.com. Secondly, the Roman Radio Club will be meeting from 7:30 p.m. at the John Connolly Centre in Renton. You can contact Simon by email to mm0xme@outlook.com for further information. The third and final meeting for Thursday, the Stirling Amateur Radio Society will be meeting at the Clubhouse, 68 Bandit and Dust Estate, Closk at 7 p.m. Once again, a reminder that the website is at www.gm6mx.com. And now the last meeting for the week. On Friday, the Mid-Lancashire Amateur Radio Society will be holding a meeting from 7 p.m. within the Community Education Centre in Ewart Hill. To find out more details, contact Simon Gray, 2M0LSG, by email to secretary@mfrs.co.uk. To have your net and any other Scottish Amateur Club activities listed on the West of Scotland Amateur Radio Society's website, or to report any changes, please contact Jack, GM4COX, by email to gm4cox@gmail.com. As usual, items for GB Tourists and Radcom should be sent an email to radcom@rsgb.org.uk. That ends this week's GB2RS News broadcast, brought to you by GM4DCH in Edinburgh. It was compiled by the Radio Society of Great Britain, which represents amateur radio and radio amateurs in the United Kingdom and internationally. News items for GB Tourists, Radcom Magazine, and the RSGB website should be sent to the editorial team as far advanced as possible by email to radcom@rsgb.org.uk. The deadline for GB Tourist submission is 10 a.m. on Thursdays. The RSGB takes a copyright over material transmitted. Information about amateur radio can be found at our website, www.rsgb.org. The full schedule of GB Tourist broadcasts can be downloaded from www.rsgb.org/GB Tourist schedule. GB Tourist is not licensed for two-way communication. The calls are welcome after close down under the call sign GM4DCH. So until next Sunday, 7/3, and have a good week from the GB Tourist news team. All 4 meters and 70 centimeters will remain news frequencies, while 2 meters I'll check and report back shortly. This is GM4DTH.